Hey, it's Fade, and this is a morning video. Also, this is a game called Kenshi, and it's a game I've enjoyed for quite a while, so I'm going to try to show you guys all the cool things that you can do, modded and unmodded. So this character is Igor. He's an actual named character in the game. Usually you can't recruit him. It's a mod, and he's obviously extremely overpowered. But I thought he might be good for demonstration purposes. He's an absolute monster. Oof. So, this game is pretty brutal. Like, as you can see, this guy lost a left arm, a left leg, and a right leg before getting hit in the head. That's probably one of them right now. Oh, wait, no. Oh yeah, that's the right leg. It could be his. Some of these guys have really damaged legs that didn't quite come off. Here's a guy that lost his right arm. Here's a guy who's not actually dead. He's going to die, but he's not dead yet. And here's Igor, who took absolutely no damage. So, I'm going to explain what all these health bars mean. Although there's very little red here for me to explain. There's red right there. Every color is present here, and every symbol, for the most part, is present here. So I'm going to start with the left arrows, the right arrows, and these exclamation marks. Left arrows basically mean it's going down. The number is going to go down. The more left arrows there are, the faster it's going to go down. The exclamation marks mean it's reached a certain threshold in damage, and it's basically non-functional. Either it's gone, or it's like so damaged that you're going to have to splint it to be able to use it again, or you're dead because, you know, if your head has those, you're probably dead, or real close. If there's any arrows that are going forward, like Igor's hunger right here, that means it's refilling. Yellow is damage that can be healed currently and will heal over time. Same with hunger bar. Red is usually accompanied by a left arrow, not always, and that's damage that is probably going to get worse. Okay? No, hey, this guy's not dead. That's not okay. Blue is basically denoting a skeletal arm. And by the way, I'm using a mod. It's called Darker UI. You should get it if you play the game. It's on Steam Workshop. Pretty much all of them are. There is also a Nexus for this. But yeah, so blue denotes a skeleton limb, and they have different damage values. So for instance, right here, actually it doesn't say. And Bug doesn't have a weapon equipped because he was doing other things. Here we go. Damage versus robots, negative 10%. Damage versus animals, negative 10%. Armor penetration, negative 15%. Right? And then you'll also see on weapons, cutting damage, blunt damage, blood loss. Okay? And then indoors penalties or bonuses, defense, attack, penalties, bonuses. Those affect these stats here, these two. One second. So, anything that does less damage to robots would do less damage to these robotic limbs that Igor has. So I basically got him dismembered and I gave him the Darth Vader treatment. He's like a cyborg dude now. Which any of these guys, if they survive, could also do. Like I could give them, let's find a guy with missing legs and arms. Yeah, like I could give this guy, if he wasn't dead and he got healed or something, he could go get himself robotic limbs. Which is really cool. So, yeah, and then green is obviously it's healed. And once something drops below, looks like just 100, like a leg or an arm, it can potentially come off. So And it has to take cutting damage or not, depending on what your limb loss setting is set to, etc., etc. So, yeah, that's really how combat is in this game. If you lose one of your 3 primary things like head, stomach, chest down to a certain value, this one right here, negative 26 for this guy, then you're unconscious and you need to be healed by somebody else. And if it's one of your other limbs, then you're gonna have to bandage it up before you get it down to negative 100 and then get hit and just lose it forever. As far as other stuff in combat, you've got your stats, right? So attack, that's your chance to hit. This guy's got a -1 base hit chance. So still somewhat likely to hit somebody. You might be thinking -1%, that's not much, but there's a base chance like apart from the -1, right? So then you've got your, like there's a hidden value here that it's working off of, I believe. So then you've got your chance of blocking attacks. Then you've got your strength, which is how much damage you're going to do with blunt weapons. Got your dexterity, which is generally how much you're going to do with cutting weapons, and other things as well. Attack speed, block speed, etc. Toughness, this is how much damage you take, how fast your wounds degenerate. So if this is really high, you can actually out-heal these left arrows, like I mentioned earlier. And then you've got your dodge, which is just chance of dodging. And then you've got other stats like athletics and strength XP rate, toughness XP rate, your KO point, which again, if something's that low, you knock out if it's one of your core body parts. Run speed, blah, blah, blah. Now, another thing to mention is that these left arrows all cause bleeding damage. So this blood value, depending on his toughness, is going to go down or up, depending on how many left arrows he has. It's going up, which means he's potentially healing over time, although he's probably not going to get up for a very, very long while. That's pretty much all there is to combat. Like, your character hits parts, and the better they are, like, usually I think the more likely they are to hit the same part more than once, so that means that, somebody's going to get out faster. If you notice Igor, a lot of these characters just have one damaged part, even though he hit more than one time. So yeah, I'll do a little bit more combat. These guys are definitely going to want to fight him. I'm at war with manhunters. Oof. He dead. His arm is gone, and now he dead. They're dead. Actually, that one is not going to die. Neither is that one. It looks like actually negative 112 is not enough to sever a limb for him, unless maybe it was just mostly blunt damage. But yeah, like I said, it's something around negative 100. And I'm not a god at this game. I've got like 400 hours in it, but that's honestly in Kenshi literally nothing. So that's pretty much all I can show you for combat. Like, as far as just the mechanics go, this gets really hectic when you have, 30 guys fighting 30 guys, and you got crossbows involved and all this other shit. But it's really going to be the same basic things working in the background. I've got a repair kit, and I've got a left leg that's a bit damaged. I wonder why he's not fixing himself up. Huh. Guess he doesn't need to. Anyway, now I'm going to show you guys the rest of Kenshi, or at least part of it. So Igor's going to run on back. I'm going to speed this up. He's a fast boy. It took me a very long time to do this, even with mods and cheating. I literally set this whole place up just for the video. But this is my city, such as it is. And I've got all these people here, all this stuff. I've got basically the required buildings. And so I'm going to explain how this is going to work. All of these people, well, they all need to eat, so I've got food in here, right? This is cheated, obviously, but it's food. I've got bugs over here. They're eating out of backpacks from Skitter and Grasshopper, okay? And Chitin might also have some. Doesn't, actually. And I've got over here my food production, which I set this up. I wanted the settlement to be self-sufficient. So, am I out of water, or is he just being a turd? Bro, you have all the cactus you could ever want right here. Whatever. So, characters sometimes glitch out a little bit. They should automatically do this if you assign it to them. So, for instance, I have this guy making chew sticks, which is food. And so he's going to, theoretically, just refill this thing nonstop. And then when he needs more, he'll go, see, now he's actually going and grabbing more. But he's grabbing it from the fields, unfortunately. I want him to be grabbing it from the cactus storage, because there's more cactus in there. And he's gonna make food for my settlement, basically. And then I've got this stuff over here. This is Rum Production, which I am selling. Okay, and people will come by and buy this. And then I've got my rum storage here. And these guys, their jobs are off. If I turn them on, they'll start harvesting the cactus, putting it in storage. They'll even drop it in here for stick. And they'll also start making rum. This is for energy, the windmills, and I'm in a very windy area, so that's all I need is a bunch of these. I've got wells that are self-operating, and I'm not using water storage because it just kept glitching out for me, but there is a water storage that you can use to have that done. I've got a grain silo, which is for grinding wheat straw into straw flour. I don't have any wheat straw planted right now, but if I wanted to, I could. This is my prison. So, it's not done yet. This is all mostly for, like, demonstrative purposes. But, yeah, as you can see, there's dead people in here. This is because I didn't feed them. What a shame. But basically, you can put people in cells and try to recruit them if you have a mod for that, which is how I got a lot of these characters. Or, you know, crucify them if you have a mod for that. Or dismember them if you have a mod for that. Or fight them with your characters to make your characters better in combat. Because, have I not mentioned yet that all of these stats can only be improved by using them. For instance, I have a 1 skill with hackers on Bug because he doesn't use them. But sabers, well, he uses sabers. He really uses crossbows. So he's good at those things. And he's a sneaky boy. He stealths around a lot. He knocks people out all the time. So he's definitely good at that. That's what Bug does. It's how I got all these people, because Bug could knock them out, or like in Igor's case, he got pincushion with crossbows from my walls, which we'll get into. But yeah, so you can have like a prison setup or like a gladiatorial ring, whatever, if you want people to fight each other. If they're naturally hostile, they will kill each other. This over here, I'll just show you guys how you could get this to function by taking everything out. And now that there's nothing in the storage anymore, well, these characters, they're gonna load up the storage. So these 3 guys aren't necessarily working on this at all. They're from different machines, but they were carrying building materials around. So they wanted to dump those out in that storage right there. These people are all operating this stuff. So this guy is making building material. These 2 guys are mining stone to make the building material. Run over here, and they're doing all this automatically. They'll fill up those things by themselves. So over here we've got raw iron. Well, now we don't have raw iron. Let's see. Oh, look at that. There's 2 people coming over to mine the iron. And over here we've got iron plates. Now they're on the ground. Somebody should be coming over here to, actually, this should be automated. I believe this is automated. It is indeed automated. So these guys are basically going to fill up this machine automatically, and it's going to produce iron plates. And then they're going to take these iron plates and put them in the iron plate storage. As you can see, they've already done 24 of them in this period of time. Good likelihood they took some off the ground, as you can see. This was 50, not anymore. So definitely taking some off the ground. But you can see how this is working. Over here, we've got steel bars. Okay, so let's get rid of those. And now Sari is going to come over here, and she is going to operate this steel refinery. So she's going to take raw iron, or actually iron plates, my bad, put it in here, turn them into steel bars. And she'll do that until it's full. Like, they all do the same thing like that. Then over here I've got copper. So, copper ore drill. Let's take the copper out of that. We'll drop all that copper too. And we'll drop these alloy plates. So, Saint and Tyr, they're going to be mining that. And Targ is actually running off to grab some iron. And he's going to be, I believe, yeah, iron plates. He's going to be using these plus copper ore to create copper alloys, which you use for a lot of different crafting things. So this stuff plus the farming is pretty much all you need for a self-sufficient base. On top of that, I've got a lot of storage in here. I've got all of my crafting right here. This is like kind of the technical stuff. This is medical, because I figured that's kind of in the middle of the normal crafting items like gear and whatnot, and technical. And then I've got all my gear crafting, my fabric, raw materials production for basically anything that is gear oriented. On the roof, I've got storage for all of those things, for the most part, that I need. For instance, this chainmail. Let's find Bombingham. He's in his own squad. He should be operating the chainmail bench, but he's being a bit lazy. Actually, he's got no he's got no fabric, which I could craft. It's just that I'm not growing cotton or hemp right now, so I can't. Beds and stuff like that, healing for robots or people with robotic limbs. Bug actually got his leg shot off by a noble early on in my playthrough before I started cheating and deciding to use this for a YouTube video. Or else I wouldn't have cheated. I'd play this game legit all the time. It's just I figured it'd be easier to show you guys because this would take many hours to build up otherwise. Especially like the aesthetic of like having everything here at high, like high tier, and having all these people here doing this without them dying to something. This is just all storage basically, and a research bench, which I've also got here, but this was my original research bench where I started. Obviously this is not legit. I did not earn all this. But, yeah, and so I've got, you know, a bunch of shit in storage for, again, not legit, but gearing up new characters. As far as my town is concerned, and the walls and everything, these are Harpoon Turrets, and they're on fire at will, or shoot with, you know, shoot first, ask questions later. They shoot anything that's potentially going to be hostile. You can lock your gates, all that kind of stuff. You can have people walk around the walls and whatnot. This right here is a mod. I use them for killing archers if I have a really big fight coming up, because they're good at stun locking archers. Yeah, so you can look at the map here. And these are all the cities I've discovered in this playthrough. Red is hostile. I've pissed off a lot of these cities here. Gray is neutral, and then blue would be, or blue or green is allied. I think green is allied, blue is yours. There's a ton of different races in this game. There's hivers like Igor, Scorchlanders like Taurus, normal Greenlanders like Rhea, and then Targ is a Shek, and I don't have a skeleton here, but they're robots basically. They make like the best limbs and stuff. This game really comes down to like how much fun can you make for yourself. It's super open-ended. Like I could just go on a little mission with Igor right now, down to the city, see what's up. Or I could go start building another settlement, or go start a war, go kidnap, X dude. These guys are actually really, really strong, so we're gonna fight them. Because Igor is potentially not going to one-shot these dudes. Yeah, so these guys will actually hurt Igor. He's going to win, but as you can see, he's taking cutting damage. So that's one guy, and as you can see, this guy is actually not even coming close. He's not going to die. He's going to live. And these two guys are coming to help out. That negative number is how much damage they block. That guy's going to die. Well, he won't actually, because his buddy will revive and heal him. And this guy is just plain dead. He's going to be just fine. So I'm going to come over here. Igor is not a sneaky boy, as you can see. But I'll show you guys. This person's unconscious. They're basically going to wake up and heal. They're playing dead, but they're going to staunch that bleeding there. And then they're going to get up. They're going to go heal that guy and this guy who's dying. And then they're basically going to be on their way. Sometimes they'll pick up a wounded comrade, sometimes they won't. So I'm actually going to come out here with Bug. What are you doing, dude? Get your booty outside. Let's make this a little faster. Bug is a speedy boy, but there we go. Decent chance to knock him out. Really low chance to knock him out. Okay, we got them both. So we're going to pick up Benji. And we're going to have somebody else come and grab him. We'll have Vex do it. And we'll have Igor pick this guy up. You don't need to be sneaking, Igor. You're not a sneaky boy. And the reason I'm not hiding with Bug right now, or I won't be, is because I don't want this guy to get up. I want him to be playing dead when Vex gets off her butt. Excuse me, Vex. Can we have... Yes. No, you don't need to be going that way. Basically, in theory, this guy's going to play dead instead of running away. Oh, no, he won't. He's going to try to kill Bug. That's fine, though, because Vex is way better than him. Or, actually, no, Vex is not. I apologize. He's way better than her. Well, not way better, but somewhat. And Bug actually just lost his other arm, or his first arm. He's lost a leg so far. So yeah, we're gonna have to help Bug out a little bit. This guy also lost an arm, actually. And now we're gonna have to send somebody else out here. Actually, we're gonna have to send 2 people out here. Let's do that. One of them's gonna have to pick up Bug. The other one's gonna have to pick up this other person. So Ergu, whatever, and Flick will be doing that. Yeah, pick up Bug. Pick up Double, and now we're gonna head over to the beds in the prison. And notice, like, I was gonna head over to that town and see what kind of trouble I could start, but I ran into these dudes that, well, they have really good stats, so I want them. Flick actually used to be one of them before, and yeah, I have one other guy that was as well. So whoever has no Ergu, go in here. You're going to put them into cells. Yeah, and now you can go back to work. Thank you. Igor, same deal. Put into the cell. Vex, and then we've got Flick, who can just go put Bug in a bed. And then Bug is going to have to go get himself a new prosthetic when he wakes up. Okay. Well, yeah, when he wakes up. That's going to be some time. That's going to be quite a while. You might think that that's seconds, but because of how the game works, those are minutes right here on the right. And so these are more like 15 seconds or something. Yeah. Bug is going to be out for a while. But let's grab Vex, who just finished healing herself up a bit, and head in here, see if any of these guys are awake yet. He's about to wake up. He's recovering. Oh no, she dead. She starved to death. I don't feel bad though. She's a bitch. So, and he's a total douchebag. This guy's like a leader of like the KKK of Kenshi, and like there's an entire country that is like that, but this guy is like more of a out in the boonies type dude. And then this lady is just, she runs like a city that has a ton of slaves in it and shit. Okay, he woke up. So we're going to talk to him. He's still got his weapon, so he's not really in a talking mood right now. Once you take the weapon away, they'll be a little bit more talkative. If you have the mod installed, this is definitely a mod. I've got a weapon thing over here, so I can store weapons and keep them from trying to maybe break their way out or something, or make them talk to me. Bug, my boy. Yeah, that's gonna be a while. But yeah, this is Kenshi. So, I mean, I would totally do a Let's Play, but I don't know if anybody would even be interested in that. It's super slow going at the beginning. What I would probably do if I did a Let's Play would be set up a really sort of modest settlement before recording and have at least like the basic shit like building materials and everything like that automated. That way I could actually focus on playing instead of progress bars, which basically the beginning of Kenshi looks like this. You just watch the bar move and go sell it when it comes out. So pretty monotonous just to begin with, and then you can start enjoying yourself once you've kind of earned it, basically. So if you want to pause this and read it, you can. This is just the mod. Ironically enough, Vex is a ninja, and this is the ninja dialogue. There you go. So this is Benji, and then you can choose how you want them to look. I'm gonna choose not to have a weird ass neck, but the rest of it I try to just leave the characters kind of how they are, unless it's something just really weird. he's going to have to accompany Bug on his new limb expedition because, yeah, he's in dire need as well. And he's also going to have to go lie down and heal up. And then I've got these dudes who also just woke up. I could put her in a corpse disposal thing like an incinerator, but I strongly dislike Lady Sanda, and I also strongly dislike Lord Mirage, so they can stay there for all I care. Yeah, so let's take his weapon off real quick. I think that's probably going to be it. Definitely a game worth getting. It's an indie title. It's only got a few devs working on it, so it's very much like it's at a good price. You know, it's worth buying. It's worth picking up for what you're paying. I'll see you guys later.